Hello, everybody, and welcome to Paranormal Nation Radio, Not So Normal. With my co host Denise. Ron's back in there somewhere, and we got a little one running around in there.
Yep.
And
We
of
have a
course,
special guest tonight, Clover.
yes, we have special guest. Clover will be appearing off and on, I guarantee that. And of course, we have Rex down here joining us this week. So, how has both of your week been so far this week started?
Like I said, health wise, yesterday I had a great day until about 7 o'clock last night. And then by 9 o'clock, I wasn't feeling all that great. And it's been downhill since then. But, other than that, I haven't gotten any work done, which is kind of different for me.
Yeah, that is different.
Yeah.
Rex, how's your week been?
Oh, yesterday was one of my bad days, but I've gotten to the point where I got to push on through because I can't stop. I just don't have the time or the help. So I've got to do hey Gary, I just push through, but man, when I stopped to watch Denise's show last night, I wasn't doing good. But today, not too bad. I mean, I didn't stay outside for very long. I did that one painting, and that was about it. I was done after that.
Yeah, you don't want to stay outside right now with the temperatures like they are.
No.
But folks, while we're talking here, keep prayers out for the North Kansas City police officer that was shot and killed today for a traffic stop and everything. I haven't got his name right now. I just caught it on a glimpse there where they were talking about it. He pulled a car over that had an expired temporary tag from 2008.
Wow.
And it was registered to a Buick, it was on a Taurus, but it was registered to a Buick. And I guess he pulled it over, got out of the car, and the person in the car opened his door and started shooting.
Damn.
And later on, the suspect turned himself in.
Well, thank God for small favors.
Yeah.
What a waste.
Well, he knew better to turn himself in.
There it is. Chad just put it up there.
Daniel Vasquez, 32.
Yep. 2-year officer for North Kansas City Police Department down there. It's bad. Stuff like that happens to our officers doing their job.
Every 52 hours, an officer loses his life.
Mm-hmm.
That's a statistic I don't like.
Me either. I've lost so many brothers and sisters in the field. It's just it gets harder every single time I see something like that.
Yeah, it does. Sure. I mean, it. One day you have hope that things are looking a little bit better, and then you see something like that, and you go, "What's wrong with this world?" And it's not just that. I mean, it's all the things that are going wrong right now.
Yes.
People. I mean, there was a family murder suicide again, and every time you hear these things, you go, "Why didn't somebody know that this was going to happen?" Same thing with all kinds of stuff. Why wasn't there signs? There probably was. And we all
paid attention to it.
But nobody's paying attention. They just put it off.
Everybody's looking out for number one.
Well, one of the things is, you get called a Karen for giving a shit and saying something, but there's other people that really are.
Which is a racist statement.
Yeah, which is a racist statement at that. Some of my best friends are named Karen, and so that term just pisses me off.
Yeah, how they came up with that term is ridiculous and stupid.
Crap.
I think they should use Shathid. There you go. It works for everything.
Have you ever spelt that?
Yes, I did.
But But that story there is close to us up here because Denise and Ron live close to North Kansas City. I'm only like about 45 miles from North Kansas City.
Yeah, you're closer to North Kansas City than us.
Yeah, but I'm
Plus,
He's there.
I've got a
up there all the
nephew.
time.
I've got a nephew who is a police officer in North Kansas City. He's in the patrol office up there by Platte City is where he's at. And his wife, my niece, she's a homicide detective in Kansas City.
Oh,
She's busy.
Yeah, she's been real busy here lately. Kansas City, you can't turn the news on. I get on Fox 4 every morning, drink my coffee, and watch it on the internet.
Yeah, one
every
of the
day
places that they wanted to do our family reunion was like down at Crown Center and all that. And I was like, no, I ain't going down there. I said, I live here. I know better.
Right.
I said, you look and you see that. I mean, that area down there has been on the news since mobster days.
There's nothing down there.
Oh, yeah.
Union Station. But
who cares? That's nothing.
Yeah, it's nothing I want to see.
Mm-mm.
The last time
I've seen it, been there. That's all I got to say.
Yep.
You know, I don't have to go back to it.
Hey, Gary.
She's just watching herself eat.
You had a bad day yesterday, Rex?
Yeah, I'm so disappointed because they fitted me for those braces over a month ago.
Right.
They told me it'd be 2 weeks. So after a month, I called them. And I talked to one lady, and she goes, well, just a second. I'll go talk to the lady that's taking care of your whatever, blah, 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 blah. And she goes, well, she wants to talk to you. She'll call you back in a little while. So she calls me back, and she goes, yeah, we don't have enough information from your doctor. And I'm going, you couldn't have told me that 4 weeks ago?
No kidding.
You couldn't have asked for it?
You got the same doctor Denise has?
Well, that is the doctor. That's that was the insurance part of that.
So
they're not very fast about calling you back.
I was like, okay, I'll call and get it taken care of. So I called and talked to my doctor's nurse and said, hey, A, B, C, D, E, and F wasn't on what he initially sent in. Can you make sure that all this is put on his report, have him check it, sign it, and send it to him? Absolutely. So this was last Friday or the Friday before, because we're going into a month and a half now.
Yeah.
And so I get a call from Clark and Associates, which is making my braces. And she goes, did you ever get that taken care of? I said, yeah. Well, I haven't received anything. I went, all right. I'll call them and see what's going on. And I'll call you back. So I called him. I talked to everybody knows me there at the doctor's office. And well, Andrea goes,
you do stand out like a sore thumb.
A little bit. You know, I try to hide it, but it just doesn't work. So she went back and she talked to Sarah, and Sarah goes, yeah, I sent it, but we'll fax it in right away again. So I get off the phone with them. I call back. I talk to, which is an Andrea that's working on my case there. And I said, you'll be getting it. And she goes, well, did you go physically back to the doctor? And I said, no. And she goes, well, we can't accept that if you didn't go back and see him again. I'm going, what difference does it make? I said, so I'm going to have to pay for a doctor's visit because you're saying Medicaid won't take care of it. How are they going to know the difference if I went in or if I didn't go in?
Yeah.
So they won't accept it. I can't get in to see my doctor till next month. It's going to be September before I get the braces. If I'm lucky, summer's going to be over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
you know,
I hate dealing with we're dealing with this crap now with her doctor, and I don't know. I guess there's no emergencies. I guess everything is just.
Well, that's the way it is with any of these doctors out here.
I feel like we
They
moved.
just want this. They don't want to, you know. They
Right.
come in and talk to you for 15 minutes, and next thing you know, you got $1,000 charge. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
And I go to they've taken over my case at the Iowa City, the University of Iowa Hospital, but I don't get in there till September 14th.
Right.
But, it's been almost 2 years. Somebody tell me what's going on with me. I've got no answer. Nothing. The last expert told me, oh, you need to lose weight.
How much? You can't lose much.
I used to weigh over 600 pounds. I'm half the man that I used to be. How much more do they want me to do? Yeah.
That might help, but that's not going to fix it.
I carried it well.
But
yeah, I was over 600 pounds.
You were 600 pounds as a deputy sheriff?
Yeah.
You're kidding me.
No, I'm not. Nobody knew because I was so tall and the way I carried it, nobody thought I weighed that much.
Right.
Really?
Yeah. But after my family was in Kentucky and I was house sitting, and I went into the doctor because one night I was waking up every 15 minutes to go to the bathroom, and I was drinking gallons and gallons of whatever I could get my hands on. So the next day I come in for the blood sugar test. I come back home, and the nurse called and said, everything's fine, blah, 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 blah. Well, my doctor, who I've been seeing for over 20 years, and we're really good friends, he called me like at probably 5:30, 6 o'clock, and he goes, I need you to come down to my office and come down to my office now. He goes, I'll be standing at the back door to let you in. Got down there, and my blood sugar was over 500.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. And now I'm not even on anything for my diabetes because I was always at, 5.1. I never got higher than 7. And on the medication, it just kept going down and kept going down and kept going down. So they took me off the medication here a couple months ago, but now my blood sugar is just falling through the floor. The other day it was 48.
That's not good.
That's not good.
I was shaking so bad I couldn't do anything.
I'll bet.
So
that almost puts you in a coma there.
That's hypoglycemic, yeah.
Yeah,
I know. I've dealt with
now
that.
This is going on top of the other stuff that they don't know what's going on. I just hope and pray that they figure out something. Right. Somebody's got to know something somewhere. But anyway, yeah. So yesterday was not a good day. On top of the extreme pain of my legs and knees and feet, I just didn't feel good. I was hungry, but I wasn't hungry, and everything I thought I would sound good, it turned my stomach. So I didn't eat a single thing yesterday.
I know how that goes.
I don't think I'd have kept it down if I tried. So, but my bad days are getting more frequent, which is starting to scare me. So, but like I said, I just keep going on, and I'm going to be here for a long time. Like I tell everybody, I have a list of people I haven't pissed off yet. So I'm not going in.
I know. I got that bucket list too. There are a lot of them that I could. Yeah.
I haven't pissed off enough people yet. I haven't offended enough people.
No.
Exactly.
Guess whose fault she is?
Yeah.
So you got her cheesy poop.
Oh
yeah.
So we got.
Oh, you're gonna have an orange diaper.
Okay, so we went to the store on Saturday to buy Cheetos.
Right.
Because I wanted to get a box of 50 from the little bags from the wholesale club, so that she could have little bags that they can open, and if they leave them open, it's not a big deal.
Right.
Because for some reason they don't close anything, and so
I have a 26-year-old that does that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know how many chip clips I bought them. Okay, so she sees the bag. Okay, this is one of those mega bags at the wholesale club. She sees it, and she's like, and she's pulling it out of the cart to open it.
Yep.
Right
Oh,
in the
man.
store.
Uh-huh.
It's a huge bag,
She
and I don't have
recognized
any
it.
chip clips. And I was like, oh crap. So luckily we were able to appease her with something else that was smaller at that point until we got to Walmart and I got her a small bag. But as soon as she sees the bag on top of the refrigerator or anything, she goes berserk yelling for it.
Oh yeah.
She reminds me of my kids. My kids ate Cheetos like they were going out of style, and
Yep.
chicken and biscuit crackers. So
Oh,
some things,
remember-
things change.
Remember the Cheetos that used to change your mouth blue? They had them when Cassidy was little. Just
Oh.
a little bit bigger than Clover, crawling and walking.
Just for a short time, they had those out.
Yeah. But anyway, we had a bag up in the cabinet, way up high. Me and Tammy's in the living room, and my sister is in the kitchen, sitting there at the table. And after a little while, asked Tammy, I said, "Where's Cassidy?" I don't know. So we go up looking for her and everything. Walk in the kitchen. She is underneath the table. Her hands are blue. Her mouth is blue. The bag is empty. And I went, how in the hell did you get that? Carlene goes, I don't know how she got it. I said, you didn't get it for her? No. So I looked around and I went, Cassidy, how'd you do that? She got up. She grabbed a chair, slid it over to the cabinet, climbed up in the chair, climbed up on the cabinet, opened the door, got the bag, got all the way. She wasn't but 2.5 years old, maybe 3 at the most. Put the chair back and then climbed underneath the table and ate that entire bag. I mean, it was hilarious. You couldn't get onto her.
Yeah.
I was like, you used your mind. You figured a problem out. You knew where they were at. With your little mind, you figured out how chair, cabinet, open, I was like, can't get onto her.
No, I mean, she ate it. I mean, well, we had a good day today because Ruby finally ate a chicken tender.
Good.
Not baby food, not anything weird.
Starting to eat more real food.
Yeah, I'm hoping to take him with us when we go down to Oklahoma City to see Lindsay.
Right.
You can only take one kid because we're bringing back 2 dogs.
Right.
So
What kind of dogs?
Yorkshire Terriers.
Oh.
One's looking for a home.
No.
No.
Shouldn't have said that. I
No.
got Tammy standing right beside me.
Well,
We're just kidding.
Okay.
She does pee on rugs. The one that we're trying to find a home for. She does pee on rugs.
You got some of them.
Well, we got pads out for our little pit bull.
Okay, so
She-
she's already making excuses
You got
why
a little pit
why she
bull?
wants Lexi, huh? Lexi,
What color is she?
she's a classic Yorkshire Terrier. She looks like an Ewok.
Okay.
Little.
Is she one of the little ones?
Yeah, she's about she
She's
would
pretty
be,
small.
but she's got this belly that's about this big.
Oh.
she's a chubby one. She likes her food.
Well, you haven't seen our Lexi, our pit bull. This poor dog, I'm ready to get a treadmill.
What's your pit bull's name?
Lexi?
That's what this dog's name is.
I
Lexi.
know. I just couldn't say we have 2 Lexis in the house.
Yeah. That's all right. But no, she is a butterball fat. And she don't hardly eat.
Hey, Denise, I don't want to interrupt you,
What?
but I'm going to be sending you an email. It's from my daughter, They're trying to do books around the world for her teachers, for the kindergarten teacher.
Okay.
And there's a list of books that we're putting up, and people, if they put their name in there, that's fine. But if they want letters from the kindergartners, then put your address, and the kindergartners will write you back. They're trying to get a book from each state.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, it's just that they want to know what state it came from. You could order it anywhere, but they just want to know what state it came from.
Oh, okay.
I'll send that to you, and her name is Tessa. So
okay.
Thanks.
Oh, and whatever you sent me a message about today, I can't see it. It's blocked. So whatever you sent me that message to my message.
That was it. So I'll have to ask my daughter because we've got a few of them that are not getting it. Barbara's not getting it either.
Barbara, what'd you do? You screenshot it to Carl. I'll send it to you.
She's
says she got no notification of the show.
So what?
There's no heart button or like buttons.
No likes.
So which Facebook are you watching it on? Is it Bill of
Probably
Rights?
watching on Bill of Rights.
Probably.
We're all getting censored everywhere. I talked to Simple Man and TDC. Yeah. They're getting censored bad too. That's why they're getting ready to take everything to Rumble.
Yeah.
Internet is completely out in Cameron. So it could have something to do with this too.
Oh, okay.
Because that's totally out in Cameron.
Oh really?
Well, that's
mine's
that ain't our internet, so I ain't worried about it.
It's probably CenturyLink.
It is. I know it is. I wasn't going to say it, but
I have nothing to say. Like I said,
I know.
I work for them, but that's it.
Well, tomorrow our fiber guys show up to show me where they're going to hook up on the house and everything, and then next week they'll be here to install our fiber.
Oh, okay.
We're getting rid of this wind stream. They want to bill us. We pay the bill, and then we get an email 3 days later, a text message to me. Well, we're taking the money out again. And I'm like, no, you're not. Yeah. Quit doing that crap.
Yeah.
What do you got on?
And when we signed up on it,
I'm checking it.
Every 2 months, it went up $5, $5. Now we're paying almost $100 for internet.
Well, Rex has got internet for life through CenturyLink.
I wish we only paid $100.
Oh, really?
I pay $55 a month for unlimited use.
Oh,
so
well, the fiber, even faster than what we got right now, will only run us $49 a month.
So, and as far as the Bill of Rights Network, I have all my buttons on there. I have everything.
Yeah.
So I have no clue what's going on.
I don't know. Their censoring is bad. Just like the show last night, we didn't have the regular viewers that we usually do and everything. So I don't know what's up with.
Oh, last night?
I know Facebook's doing crappy things. Every day I get on here, one of your videos has been blah, blah, blah. I go to check it out, right? It's from 2 to 3 years ago. And I'm like, you're doing it now?
Right.
What's up with it? And it used to be these people from Nigeria say, oh, well, we have rights on this and this, or what you're saying. And I'm like, no, you don't. That's our opinion. Right? So now the new thing is star hits. If you get blocked, Star Hits has got it. I went to Star Hits there on their Facebook and told them the Bill of Rights, we have our own rights to say what we want. You have no right to block or send a message to Facebook or YouTube.
Right.
They're ridiculous.
Yeah, I was watching your show, Rex, on Saturday, and you played the second video.
Yeah, we were naughty.
And
you got shut both of them?
Well, and then it came back, and then you played the third video, and it didn't come back on my end.
Yeah,
was
well,
done.
it's on you. It's still on YouTube.
The whole thing
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
in 2 parts.
might be. I don't know.
Two
Yeah,
parts, yeah.
Yeah, it's an hour long in 2 parts.
yeah.
Yeah, we got messages during the show.
But that's the
Denise
only way
was
I
one
can
of
get
them.
it.
It
And
says you're off YouTube.
I hate YouTube, but that's the only
Oh,
way
I
I
do
can get it.
too.
I don't have.
Well, what burns me is we show a video
I don't have.
and they
Scam
talk
book.
about it. What about these people that do it on YouTube that show the video and talk about it and they don't get blocked?
I know.
I mean,
But you can download any video off of YouTube and you can share it with anybody. How's that any different than what we're doing?
It's not.
And if you're one of the people singing it or something like that, don't you want your songs being seen by more people?
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it.
It's all about control. That's all.
I know it is.
Well,
It's not nothing
I was-
they do makes sense. So
I was telling Carl, Denise, and Ron, I was asking Shane what we want to do the show on this week, and he goes, "Can we do one where we don't get in trouble?"
I guess
You don't know what to think about that yet.
I guess you can talk about music, and that's about it.
Well, once we get all the paperwork and stuff, then we won't have to worry about this crap anymore.
Right.
I got a message from Dave. Did you see what he was going to do?
Glidden?
Oh,
No.
he was gonna.
He's getting you the BMI and
Yeah.
one other. Luke says that that paper should be, all those papers should be in by the end of this week.
God, I hope so.
I do too. Then they do that. We can do any videos, any music we want to use in commercials or whatever.
And we had the highest viewers on our last show too.
Yeah, you did.
And if they were
On Saturday's show?
Yeah.
if they were blocking us, if they were doing anything like that to my show last night, that's bad. 'Cause my show isn't political.
No.
Either mine's not political either.
Uh-uh.
I know.
No.
Well, but I didn't break any rules.
No, you didn't. But your viewership wasn't like it normally is.
But you know what, though? By the end of the show, I looked at how many views I had. I had over 400 views by the time I got off the air.
I know. So it did good. Plus, the ones you had in the chat room were great, man. They were bringing great questions.
Oh, man, they were loading them up.
Especially, okay, on the paranormal part here, you brought up something last night that I can guarantee you most paranormal people, and Joe even said it, has never even thought about it. When you said about the ghosts on the space station,
I know.
we had never thought about that.
No.
What
Really?
are they? I mean, are they aliens? Are they ghosts? We don't know. The
Yeah.
only thing we do know is that it's not
And that's
Bigfoot.
what Dan said, right? Dan said that
Yeah.
that's what the astronauts are
Yeah,
telling
that they
us?
see stuff
Yeah.
on there that
That's,
they can't
I don't
explain.
know. That's weird.
So they assume it's ghosts because they don't know what else it could be. But
I know, but who would have ever? We don't think about that because that's outer space,
Right.
right.
right? And stuff. We're always looking for stuff down here on the ground,
Mhm.
but it would make sense that spirits can go anywhere. We found that out at Ashmore
Oh yeah.
because we had Denise live on there. I had a person in the chat room in Arizona that the spirits were talking to. So, I mean, that's why it's going to be really cool. Maybe these virtual investigations will start taking off.
Well, they said they've gotten spirits from shipwrecks.
Mm-hmm.
People that
Under-
dive underwater.
Yeah. In fact, a friend of mine, he wrote a book
Yep.
about that, and it's pretty interesting thought. I mean, we
Yeah,
listened
I
to
know.
his presentation. He lives in Florida, so it's a good place if you're going to investigate shipwrecks. So
Right. Even Sandy said it down in there. She had never thought of that. It made her stop and think.
right, and I mean, why wouldn't it make you think? Because we don't think. Okay, our society we're not thinking beyond our homes. Sometimes we're thinking not beyond our state, and sometimes we're not thinking beyond our country.
Mhm.
Why would we think that how we feel in these different places, we wouldn't feel up above us
Right.
or on another planet?
Yep.
Because we don't know, we don't know. There's a lot we don't know.
Yeah.
But again, back to the alien thing. We can't be the only life
Exactly.
in all the universes that exist.
Exactly.
So that means that what we're seeing here is probably very similar to what aliens what we call aliens are seeing on their own planets. They probably see spirits too. They probably have, maybe they have paranormal investigations too.
Yeah, nobody knows. We'll have to find a gray and ask them.
That's the one I won't ask. We'll ask the Pleiadians. They're, like I said, I'm holding out for the Pleiadians.
Right.
So,
Hey,
Pastor Gary put in there, I was going to tell you guys about that. A month ago, he was watching the show and he said hi, Jailbird.
yeah.
He got blocked for a week
Wow.
or got blocked for a month for saying that.
well, one time they blocked me saying Heidi Ho, thinking that I was calling somebody a hoe.
Yeah.
I was like, have you never watched South Park? I know it's a shit thing to say, but that's because the character is shit. That's what he says, Mr. Hanky. He says, Heidi Ho.
But yeah, when you brought that up, that even stopped Joe in his tracks and went,
Actually, I have to say, there have been times that I've stopped him in his tracks many times over the years because, when we talk.
Yeah, you say some head scratchers, all right.
I mean, you figure I've known him since April 2015, and Ron goes, it seems like longer, but like I was telling you guys before the show, he was the one person that I wanted to meet the most in the paranormal. Could care less about Zach, could care less about Aaron. It was Joe. She's singing this song. She's singing Old MacDonald.
You singing Old MacDonald?
Put the closed captioning up. I want to see if it's captioning what she's saying.
I can't put it up on here.
No, Denise had it on earlier.
On Facebook, you can see it.
Oh, yeah, you can see it on Facebook.
He was singing E-I-E-I-O. And the next thing she'll sing is The Wheels on the Bus, and she'll do this.
And that's another thing me and Denise has talked about and said on shows. When you're watching one of our live investigations, turn the closed caption on.
Yeah.
Because what we hear may be different than what Facebook picks up.
Especially if the echo box out, it'll pick that up.
Exactly.
It's actually pretty neat. I don't think you've seen that, Rex, have you? Yeah.
You go live sometime when you're doing an investigation. And then when you go back and watch it, turn the closed caption on and put a headset on and listen and watch the words pop up.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty interesting.
It's different.
That's good advice. I never even would have thought of that.
And when we're live Saturday, that July 30th, when I'm live Saturday night, people watching, turn your closed caption on. If you see a word pop up in there that we're not saying and everything that we hear, put it in the chat room because that is part of evidence.
Who is that?
She was singing The Wheels on the Bus. If you guys saw this, that was The Wheels on the Bus. And then
you got the wheels on the bus that go round and round.
I don't know if that's copywritten.
I don't know.
Probably is.
It probably is.
As long as we don't use Coco Melon, we're fine. See, there she is. There's her bus.
Yeah. I know one thing. She looks just like her mommy.
Yeah.
She does.
This is what Leah looked like when she was little.
Baby shark.
Well, even what Leah looks like now, you can see it all in her.
Oh yeah.
She start singing that.
She fed the cat.
You're going to be blocked on Facebook, Clover.
She fed the cat a Cheeto, and the cat licked all the cheese.
And Cheeto, you need to get a hold of us and sponsor this show. We got a little one over here just loving them. She's promoting your product.
Oh yeah. Last night's show. Let's see.
Now,
Today's show is brought to you by Loves. Somebody's needing a diaper change, I think. So there you go.
Yeah. Hi.
There she goes.
There you go. Round and round.
Go round and round. She's watching herself.
Yeah. Like, okay.
Round and round. Round and round.
Leah was telling me, she
Good
goes,
job.
she was the other day, she goes, Clover was playing and she stopped and she looks up and she just started talking. And I said, who do you think it is? And she goes, I think it's your mom. And I said, well, it's possible. I said, because I feel like she's like my mom in some ways. You know, there's some things that she does that remind me of my mother. And I said,
Except the chain smoke.
Except she doesn't chain smoke. But she does drive me up a wall.
Yeah,
with what she's doing right now.
She's wormy and squirmy.
Hey, they keep you young at that age. It's when they start getting older that you go, oh crap.
Oh yeah.
I know.
Well, we're hoping. Like I was telling him, well, like we were telling you before the show, we got, Joe is one of those people that I had to meet regardless. I had to meet him. And when he asked me to be part of, first he said, okay, if you go back to my second show and you listen to that, it's actually my first show. If you look on Mixcloud, you listen to that. And he says in there, I will never go back to the Sally house. I'll never go back to Atchison.
I didn't intend on it. I guarantee it.
And then after he met me, he talked to me that weekend before I had the show, because back then I used to call my guests and kind of pre-interview them a little bit so that we didn't sound like we didn't know each other.
Right.
And will you stop, please? So I asked him to be on again. He sent me the book Seduced, and I read it. In fact, like I said on the show last night, I read it to Ron in the car because it was that good. And so I made sure that I knew everything I needed to know, about him and everything. And I interviewed him the second time, and he goes, I'm starting to think about coming back to the Sally house. And so that was about 6 months after that. So I interviewed him twice in 2015. And he contacted me, him and Richard contacted me in 2016. And I was on their show, and we talked about the history of the Sally house and Atchison and all that stuff. And, back in 2016, I knew everything that I needed to know about all this stuff, still researching it, things like that. And that's when him and Richard said, we're going to get together a crew of people and we're going to come out there and film a movie. And he goes, we want you to be part of it. And I said, well, okay, whenever that happens, let me know. And I said, and if you just come out and you don't do a movie, we'll just make sure we find a way to meet up with you. Because how many people have said on a show after the show or said during the show, hey, come on and we'll, we'd love to meet up with you, blah, blah, blah. And it never happens.
Right.
I'm going to send you my books, next time you come to town, meet up with me. I've had one say that, and we've been in that area 3 times. And well, actually we've been in that area many, many times, and he's made an excuse every time that we're in town to not meet up. So, it happens. People say things that they don't truly mean, and they meant it. I mean, I'm going to tell you, if you're in the paranormal or if you're just a friend, and we're close by to where you're going to be, I'm going to try to find a way to see you. You know, right now, Colette Cardell is here in town from the UK, and I'm not going to get to see her because I've been sick.
Right.
And I feel bad because she's been planning this trip for 4 years. And here I am, I'm going to miss her. But like I said, you get close and we got time, we will find a way to meet up with you. That's all there is to it. And
Right.
Carl knows that I'm not kidding.
No, it's the same thing, you know, the way we met and everything. I still can't remember how I found your show. Somebody either told me about it or something. But anyway, I started listening and I started asking questions. And Denise always asked my questions.
Right.
And everything. Right?
Yep.
So we got to doing that. About 3 months after being on there, she wanted me and Pastor Gary to be on her show, which really meant a lot to us. So we was on the show. Was it the first or second show that the connection got messed up?
I think it was it was Gary's phone. His phone wouldn't let me call it.
Right.
It was the first show. CenturyLink would not let my Skype connection call his house phone.
Right. It wouldn't. So anyway, we did that show. Still listened. You know, they're only like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
2 hours away at the very most. Depends on traffic and everything and stuff. Then a few months later, we was on her show again. And every time we're on the show, something goes wrong with a phone call or something. I think we made it to the last before 10 minutes left on the show when we lost all connection.
Yeah, and that was when my show was an hour and a half on Paranormal King Network.
Right. So that was in, I'm wanting to say August.
Yeah, it had to be 2015. Yeah, it was 2015.
Yeah.
Because it was
because
after
the next thing we know is coming up in, what was it, October? When they had the KC Paracon?
Actually, it was August. It was his birthday weekend.
You're right. Anyway, they were going to be down there at the KC Paracon. Well, I went ahead and bought tickets for me and Gary and Tammy and even Cassidy and stuff. But Cassidy didn't make it to that one. So me and Pastor Gary get down there. At that time, we were associated with Dust to Dawn, who helped us get into the paranormal field.
That's how you found me. I guarantee it was Dust to
Probably
Dawn,
was.
Rick Rose.
It had to be Steve
Rick
Hayes probably told me.
Probably Steve.
From Rick. Yep. Because we met Rick in April of that year.
Right. So that day we go down there and everything. I'm talking to Jimmy and all them because I know them real good. And we had a situation at that time anyway and stuff. That's when I met all the people we've had on our shows, a lot of them that we've met. Frank Bennett. I met him that day down there. I met Denise and Ron that day down there. Finally.
We didn't even know Frank.
No.
Before that.
No, it was.
No.
She heard him talking. She said, that guy's from Baltimore.
Okay. At the same
said,
time,
okay.
I met David Glidden and I met Rick Rose.
Yep.
And Josh Hurd.
And Josh Hurd. And I mean, all that right in that little area that we were in, you know, and stuff. And it was just amazing weekend. All the paranormal friends I made that weekend and associates and everything. And now started the Paranormal Nation radio show. We've had most of those people. The only one I never got on my show was Rick Rose.
And Jimmy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Jimmy was supposed to be one of the first guests on there.
Yeah.
But his
I
health
had him
started turning real bad at that time.
Yeah, I had him on. So I have a SoundCloud or a Mixcloud with him.
Early.
It was after that Paracon about a year. So,
And if y'all never met Jimmy with Dust to Dawn that created it at the 1859 jail down there, you missed a real good paranormal person down there. I mean, whenever they came to Kingston to the courthouse said there has to be somebody that works there to be with them. Well, Gary was the county zoning commissioner. So he said, yeah, he'd go. And he asked me to go. And I said, okay, yeah, never been on one. I thought it'd be cool. Right. So they show up. They're setting all this equipment up in the jury room and running cables for cameras and everything down out the windows to the old jail. And me and Jimmy's in there, and we're looking at this. And we both turned and looked at the door. The door was open where you could see both doorknobs. And they both were turning. And I looked at him, and he goes, did you see? And I said, doorknobs. And he goes, yep, they're active. And I went, okay, that's cool. And then Sebastian comes in and goes, there's a lady sitting in that chair right there. Probably turned the doorknobs. But we had all kinds of activity. And after 3 times Jimmy coming up there, he looked at me and Gary and said, you two need to start your own team up here and stuff and do this courthouse. And that's how we got started in the paranormal field.
Right.
Yeah.
And Dara, you actually met Carl and Gary the first time. I believe it was at the Malvern Manor.
Probably.
Yeah.
And then when you saw them the next time, it was at an event in Kansas City on Holmes Road. And I had to ride back with you guys because I was afraid you're going to get lost getting to our house.
Right.
So,
I mean, that's where we met Dara and Caitlin and her mom and everybody up there at Melbourne. Mm-hmm. See, Charles, I met
as part of Dust to Dawn.
Actually, before I met.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, it was before.
Yeah, it was actually before I met you guys. I met Charles.
Yeah.
Because he was with Dust to Dawn. And
we didn't even know he was with them.
Yeah.
Even though he was living with my daughter.
He wasn't living there then.
He wasn't there?
Yeah. The second investigation they came to, we was outside in the
They're good friends. I mean,
little covered area. And this was his night that he was going to be come into Dust to Dawn. So they sent him in with a chest cam, webcam, and had him walk all the way through the courthouse by himself.
Oh, so they were hazing him.
Yeah. They come back out and said, now you're a member of Dust to Dawn.
And so we knew Charlie on a personal level before the paranormal level because of the fact that he went to school with our daughter-in-law. And he's from Westline, which is like 5 miles from here. So he grew up around here and they became friends, and he ended up being the man of honor or the best man.
Right.
I don't know what they would call it. And Leah was the maid of honor for Lauren and Becca's wedding. And, but that was back in 2018. But
now that I think about it, it could have been Charles that told me about your show.
It could have been.
Quite possibly.
Because that's before we even became a paranormal team.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, Rick knew about it. No, Rick didn't know about it until April because he was my first guest.
I'll bet Charles is the one that told us, if you want to know more about this, Denise Pridemore's got a radio show.
Yeah, we were
on Paranormal King.
Yeah, because we had been involved in the paranormal.
Yeah, we did the investigation with Rick. Denise had been talking with Rick on Facebook and that for quite a while.
Well, he called me the night the Ghost Adventures aired.
Yeah, we went up there. He had the house for the night, and we went up there with him, and that's when we met him face to face. Anyway,
met him and Steve Hayes.
Yep.
Yeah, see, later that year is when I finally met you guys, and then later on in December is when you came up and helped us investigate the courthouse.
Right, with cousin Crystal.
Yeah, Crystal was there.
But it wasn't long after that Rick invited us to the jail.
Actually, we were invited to the jail.
I mean, it was
Jimmy invited
not long
us
at all
that night.
Yeah. Pastor Gary said one of the things down here when Dust to Dawn was there, we were up in the courtroom and a group was over in the old jail with the echo boxes going.
Yep.
Right? There was a spirit down there on the echo box accusing the other spirit we had up in the courtroom of which one robbed the bank. And it was hilarious in one way, but it also was interesting to hear it on tape recorders when you play it It was like these two guys were talking to each other, accusing each other.
Yeah.
That really brought me into there's something out here. And then after we started becoming a team, I got the tape player and Echo Box, already had it and stuff, and went to the cemetery north of the courthouse down there where my pawpaw was buried. Pulled up in front of his grave, rolled down the window, shut the van off, sat there. It was a cold December night and everything. And dummy me, you learn through paranormal what questions to ask, right?
Yeah.
Pawpaw's name was Carl Llewellyn. So I said, Carl Llewellyn, are you here? Not a thing came over that echo box. And I sat there for a second and went, well, hell, I never called him that. So I sat there and said, Pawpaw, are you here? And a voice came on the echo box and said, hi. And I said, do you know who this is? And the next thing that came out of that echo box is only stuff my family and people we were around when I was little would know.
Right.
Because out of the echo box come Butch. My nickname was Butch that Pawpaw gave me because he never could catch me long enough to give me a Butch haircut.
Yeah.
Right? Because we both had the same first name and he didn't want Big Carl, Little Carl,
Right.
and everything. But when it said that, that was my Pawpaw's voice. I took it to my older sister and older brother and had them listen to it. And they said, where'd you get that? And I told them how I got it. They go, that's Pawpaw's voice. I said, I know. And that's what really got me intrigued in the echo box and tape recordings and stuff like that. That is stuff, that's a voice I had not heard in 25 years.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. That was interesting. But yeah, that's how we all got started. And just in that little 6-month time frame is where we met a lot of paranormal people. Lots of them.
Very busy. That was a busy 6 months. I know that.
I know it was. Everybody was going everywhere. We were investigating and stuff. And I created our team. And we've just now last year we didn't do a lot because of COVID and stuff. But before that, we do a lot. We always make sure we do at least one and possibly 2 investigations with Denise and Ron through the year.
Mm-hmm.
Some years we've done more than that. You know, we went to Melbourne. How many times we went to Melbourne?
4.
3? 4?
Yep.
4 times. They've been to the courthouse. They've been to Kingston Cemetery. They've been to Hans Mill. They've been to Cox Cemetery, where we'll be live 2 weeks on the 30th down there. So
Thought we were going to be there till an hour ago.
that's fine. You guys will be there. You'll be live on StreamYard.
I actually wanted to be there. You know.
I know you did. We'll still.
That cemetery is it's cool. It's different. I something about it. I don't know what, but
Yeah, and then
very
the one year, that next year after we met you is when I helped you guys for a year at the Sally House.
Yep.
And we had some great times up there.
Yep. Young Gary, that was fun.
Oh, that was. I mean,
and we had Rick help us one year too, and like I said, the more help we had, the more fun we had.
The best time, one of the best ones, is when I had that entire group down in the basement.
Mm-hmm.
There must have been 25 people down there.
Oh, easy.
And David Teron was filming it and everything. And the echo box was going, had a little girl sitting next to me. She was talking, and we'd ask names of who was in here. They'd say it, and the people would look and all this and that. Is when this couple walked in over on the wall.
Yep.
a white girl and a black guy and everything. And the white girl goes, "It'll never get his name. He's from Africa." I said, "Okay." I asked the Echo Box. It took it a while, but finally the name came out and she goes, "Oh my God, that's his name." She goes, "It'll never get his last name." And it came right out instantly.
Yep.
And you can watch that video on YouTube. It's still up on there. So
Yeah,
that,
somebody said, "How did you do that?" We didn't do it. We don't know who the guy is. We couldn't pronounce it if we wanted to.
well, my big deal with Echo Box was, you know, I'm not a big fan of the PBS, PS, whatever, 7 and 11 and all that
The PS
and everything, because the noise drives me up a wall.
I can't listen to that.
But they're scattering radio stations.
Right.
If I hear a word on there, I need to timestamp that and go through all them radio stations and see if that word was said.
Yeah.
But the
Okay.
thing is, you
And
know
it
what?
will.
You're going to miss some radio stations because of the fact that sometimes, remember when we were young, AM radio, you get Mexico radio in Baltimore.
Yep.
So how could you scan every single radio station that you might be getting? I mean, yeah, transistor radios are a thing of the past, but damn, they could catch all kinds of crap at night on a clear night.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not a big fan of it. The
No,
Echo
I'm
Box,
not either.
the Echo Box, we know and everything has no built-in words in it, does it, Denise?
No, none.
None whatsoever. It cannot make a word.
It doesn't go off the internet.
Nope. None of that.
Only when
It
you
does-
load it. That's the only time it should require the internet is when you're loading it.
Or
And
updating it, but
and
that's it.
Yeah. But I mean, and the developer can't pinpoint who's buying it and at what time they're going to ask a certain question. You know, that's what really amazed me.
so, yeah, so
Right.
she's happy again.
But,
Sit up here, sweets.
she got a dry butt.
Oh no, I had to take a call. My cardiologist called.
Oh, everything good?
They think I'm right that it's my medication, and they're putting me on a different medication
Uh-oh.
because they don't want to have something happen to me between now and they get their money for their stress test.
Yeah.
They didn't say that,
Yeah, but that's what's happening.
so
My electronics, that was one of our first projects. We had to make our own little transistor radio. We had to
Yep.
build it.
Yep.
my
And
job
if you go over on KD's Facebook page on that, what is it, Supernatural Ink?
Supernatural Ink. Yep.
Boy, he's got a great deal going on those ink boxes right now until
Does he?
midnight tonight.
How much?
$100.
Oh, I like that.
We should
box.
we probably should get one. And the main reason is
I
because
actually saw it work.
we saw it in
we were up-
person.
Yeah.
This is the one that's about
Yeah.
like this, and it also has shortwave in it.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's got them on there for $100. It popped up on my Facebook yesterday,
Huh.
I think it was. So it's good until midnight tonight. So if
Ah.
anybody's looking for equipment, go check out what is it? Supernatural Ink.
Supernatural Ink Facebook page. And,
Right.
And it's INK.
Right.
So
But yeah, when he popped that up, and that includes shipping and everything for that
I want
product.
delivery. I'm sorry. If
Oh.
I buy, I want delivery.
Yeah.
He'll
Autograph.
deliver it to you. He's not that far.
I know. Well, again, I sent a message to Sarah Lemos, and I asked her, if she would be on my show, and reminded her who I was. And she came back with, "Oh, I remember you."
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well-
Ooh.
Well,
She probably remembers me because I asked her a lot of questions when I was there.
we the thing is they thought it was funny because him and I, besides Katie and Jessica and her husband, we were the only married couple there. So they understood, here we are. And Katie, she kept saying, "Oh, you guys are so cute." And so,
because they're arguing back and forth.
we were not arguing. But, we were, it's unusual to have married couples actually involved in the paranormal together. And so, but we had the box called, okay, so we were in one of the rooms at the McIntyre Villa, and we were getting ready to break. And I said, I got to go to the bathroom before everybody has to use the bathroom, because there's only one public bathroom in there.
Right.
And so I'm like, I'm going to go. And the box says, there she goes. Or she's leaving. What was it? Which one was it?
She's leaving.
She's leaving. And
or poopy time, something.
It didn't say poopy. And so,
hey, that echo box can say anything it wants.
Yeah,
I've heard
it.
I've heard words out of it. I've heard different languages out of it.
Yep.
I don't know if we told you this, but I got scratched in the basement there. At the back.
Yep.
So we're all in the room, me and Sarah and Katie, and Katie is upstairs with Jessica. So we're downstairs with Sarah and Katie. And I know it sounds bad. It's Katy, KD. He's upstairs. And, we're sitting down there, and, I had on my bracelet. We brought my bracelet. It was a trigger object.
Right.
It was the one that was made by Lorraine Warren's daughter, Judy, and it has some of Lorraine Warren's jewelry in it. So, needless to say, if you're going to have a trigger object, you might want one like that.
Yeah, you might.
And it was a gift, and so we brought it and we used it. We didn't get anything with it, but it was still kind of neat, that I could explain this. But what they liked was the fact that I knew the history, not of the house, but of the town.
Right.
And that I had been in there prior to Stephanie buying it, because most of these people had never been in there when the Garrity's opened it. They keep calling him Girardi. It's Garrity, because we interviewed them for the movie.
Right.
We did. And so, here we were in the house when it still had all of its original furnishings and all that other stuff. But again, we didn't know that we were never going to go back in there until last month, And so when I told Sarah, we were the ones that were invited there. And I said something about my age, and she goes, "There ain't no way that you're that old." And I was like, "Yep." And so we had people there that were younger than me that looked older than me.
Oh, yeah.
But right now, I'm going to tell you, I look old right now.
You're going through health issues, but you still look great for your age.
Well, hopefully next week I'll look better. Well, when I'm on the show, I won't. It'll be the following week that I'll look better. But I may have to reschedule my show on August 1st. Because we'll be coming back from Oklahoma City.
Yeah, you might have to.
So,
when are we got to meet him, on Sunday or Monday?
Got to meet him on Sunday around 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh.
So, but I get to see my grandkids.
Hey, family comes first.
I have to take a day off of work. Oh, I hate that.
Oh.
And so all right.
Me too. I hate it.
It's exciting.
Counting the days now.
Because
Who do you got? What guests you got on that day?
I have Rick Wade. We should be home by 7 o'clock at night.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I
If
have Rick
not,
Wade.
you got your phone.
Yeah, on Monday.
Well, but we go through a lot of places where there's no internet. We have to go from here to I-35 and down I-35.
That's 6 hours.
So, but there's some places along there where we don't have internet. But Lindsay's already said, she's got to stop in Oklahoma City because I want Brahms. So, and we don't have Brahms up this far. The
No, we
closest
don't.
one to us is Emporia.
Right.
So we'll go
Well,
by.
that's
Gulf Shores.
good. And they're headed to the Panhandle, right?
They're heading to Gulf Shores to start with. They got a little rental there.
That's sure.
So they got a rental in Gulf Shores for about a month. So, which is good. And
Have they got their house yet?
no. They've got a house that they like in Milton, and they got one they like in Robertsdale, which is maybe 25 minutes from Daphne, where we were looking in Alabama.
Right.
So, but Lindsay they're open to whatever. They're looking mostly for school districts more than houses.
Right.
But Baldwin County in Alabama is the fastest growing county in the state. And so that's Gulf Shores, Mobile Bay to the Florida state line, and up to about the top of Florida on the Alabama side. So Spanish Wells Spanish Wells. And so, and this is south of I-10, and it's in a non-flood area, which is good because, they still had the hurricane came over and sat right on top of them for like 3 or 4 hours.
Right.
And they got both sides of the hurricane, the front side and the back side. And there was hardly any damage done to this area, but not too far from where she's looking, Magnolia Springs was wiped out. I mean, there's all the historic trees that were there got wiped out by a tornado. It was sad looking driving down State Highway 181.
Oh, I bet it was.
But yeah, I'm just excited for them to be starting something new as a family, and they get to pick the house together because Devin already owned this house when they got together.
Yeah, it's like Dave Ramsey. He'll have a guy will call in and say, "Yeah, I bought this house when I was single, and then I got married." And he says, "Yeah, my wife's saying we need to sell it." And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Yeah, but I really like the house." And he goes, "Doesn't matter."
Your wife doesn't.
He goes, "You two didn't pick that house. You picked it."
Right.
You're going to lose that one every time.
Yeah, you're going to lose that argument.
It's not your house. It's not both of your house.
So do they have new jobs and everything lined up down there?
He works from home.
Yeah, Devin works from home for T-Mobile.
Oh.
And he already is working in the Central Time Zone. So the good news is that means that Piper will stop calling me at 11 o'clock at night, our time, because it's still early where she lives.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I don't think Devin's real crazy about moving. He's kind of grew up in Vegas and
California
and all that, but
it'll be good for him to get away from it.
He doesn't realize it yet, but there's more to do down there than Vegas.
Yeah.
I'm serious. There's a lot more to do.
Or wait until he gets down to the beach.
Yeah. They've been down there. They went down last summer.
Yeah, Nolan actually went in February.
Yeah.
They went in February, and right after when Lacey was here. So when Lacey was here for Leah's wedding, they went down the following week, and they couldn't get the kids out of the sand. And I said, "Don't they have sand in Vegas?" And Lindsay goes, "Not like this."
No, not like that. They don't.
So I was teasing Ron. I said, "Yeah, Devin's going to have to figure out how to work a lawnmower, and you can use a shovel to dig a hole in the dirt where you can't in Vegas.
No,
you can use dynamite, like Ron said." He goes, "He probably doesn't even know how to spell the word lawnmower."
Oh, I know. We went out for Tammy's brother's funeral out through Yucca Valley, California, and all that out there. Well, my nephew Chad was a police officer out there at the time. So we went there and stayed one night with him and everything. I pull up in his driveway. I look at the yard and go, "Well, you don't need a lawnmower." He goes, "Nope, we rake it every 2 days."
Yeah.
Yeah. With Lindsay's, we went out to clean when we were out there for a while back in 2019, and we used a shovel and a rake to clean up her yard because she had all this gravel and the dogs had pooped. Well, we just scraped up all the poop.
Yeah.
And we got gravel in it. We didn't care. We just threw it in the trash. I felt bad for those trash men.
What was funny was me and Chad's standing outside drinking beer and stuff, and he shows me a house. He says, "Look down there at the yard." And I looked down there and I went, "It's green." He goes, yeah. A company comes out and paints the sand green so it looks like grass. I went, yeah, but a windstorm? He goes, yeah, they're out there painting it all the time.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's ridiculous.
Idiot Californians.
Lindsay bought AstroTurf for her yard so the kids could play out there. But the bad part is the dogs like the AstroTurf too.
Yeah.
So we would have to rinse it off and all that. So needless to say, it doesn't matter. Those dogs aren't going to make it to Florida. They're only going to make it to here. So,
right.
I mean, if I don't find a home for Lexi, I'll take Lexi back down there when we go. But I'm pretty sure if I tell somebody this dog is a full-bred Yorkshire Terrier, that
you said it when she was standing in the doorway. Now I'll hear it.
Oh yeah,
all the time because she lost her little Chihuahua.
Oh really?
Oh yeah. Princess died. What? Well, she didn't die. We actually put her down because she was in bed. She was 17 years old.
Oh wow.
Right.
Yeah.
What? 3 months ago?
Yeah. This dog was born in 2015.
Oh, okay.
So she's 7.
Right. Well, our Lexi, she's 6 and everything, and she's a people dog from hell.
She is a people dog too, and she's
pretty good dog,
and she's really good with kids.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
She lets
real good with kids.
She lets Nolan lay on her, and so she's been around babies since she was born, basically.
Right. Well, that's like
she was.
Lexi. When we got her, she was like 18 months old and everything. Already housebroke, all that good stuff, right? And everything. And then we found out how good she was with kids. The kids can do anything to her you want. But if you go to get on to one of those kids, you don't want that dog anywhere near you. She will get in between you and that kid. And I've only had her growl at me one time. And I looked at her and said, you can stop that crap right now. Because that ain't going to fly.
Tuna's like that.
The kids come around. If they're outside, nobody walking by, Lexi will sit down in front of the child.
That's how our greyhounds were. I mean, our greyhounds, we had rots that came up into our yard. There's a leash law in Kansas City, Missouri. Mm-hmm. And our dogs were in our yard, and these rots came up and tried to kind of get over the fence.
Oh.
Because the fence was low in one spot. Our greyhounds actually bit them. And the owner came and said, we ought to sue you. And I like, for what? Your dog's head was over my fence.
Right.
Yeah, and I actually had to grab Pam and drag her back in the house. If I turned her loose, she'd have killed both of them. A greyhound.
I didn't figure greyhounds were aggressive.
Sorry.
What?
I had one, and she was fiercely protective of me.
Yep.
Really?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, when our kids started screaming, those rots come, man. Her hair went up, and I mean, that's all you saw was teeth, and she was ready to kill them.
Greyhounds are
she would have.
They're funny looking dogs to me. That's all I got to say.
They use them to kill coyotes. So, yeah.
Oh, Pastor Gary left a message for KD for a box. So he's going to be buying one of the boxes.
Well, hopefully you can meet up with him in Smithville.
Well, that'd be cool to have at the investigation on the 30th.
Yeah, but you can get it.
Because that way I can use EchoBox, Necrophonics, and help him sponsor his out there all over the world, because we're going to be on Things Network. We're only one of 6 places that's going live that night on the Paranormal Giving Tree. A lot of them is going to be doing it. Some of them is going to be doing it during our daytime, because it'll be their nighttime over there.
Yeah, I'm just sorry that we're going to have to miss out on something else. But again, family first.
Family first, and you'll be live on StreamYard with us when we do it. And I bet that's good. I bet our show will be the only one doing a virtual investigation. Unless they hear this now and they're all changing.
Well,
You know what's funny is for years all I heard was Denise say KD builds. You know, he's a tech guy. He builds stuff for different shows, and I mean, all I heard was for years. I said, "Is his wife into the paranormal?" She goes, "I don't know. I think so." Oh my gosh! I did an investigation with him.
Uh-huh.
That lady is into it big time.
Oh, yes.
She made him look like a beginner.
She's like me.
I had no idea.
She's like me. She wants to do
my
all
gosh,
the
she
research.
is. Yeah, she was really into it.
Well, what got me was everybody'd say KD and Katie, and I'm like, "You're talking about the same person, aren't you?"
No,
And they go, "No, Katie, his wife, and KD is his name." And I'm like, "Oh, you go saying that real fast, you get everybody confused."
Oh yeah, and you know what?
Well, I asked them when they met. I said, "Did you each one of you know you're in the paranormal?" And she said, "Yeah, we pretty much knew."
Well,
but I had no idea she was into it like she was.
No, and he's got a mad workshop down in that basement.
Yeah.
And the thing is I've known KD since before he was on any of the shows.
Oh, really?
Right.
Yeah, we made friends a long time ago.
Yep.
Because he was investigating some places by where we used to live in Kansas City, Kansas.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, I just started talking to him, and
we stay at the house because he recommended.
Yeah, we stay at that's their headquarters.
Yeah.
Is that house in Smithville.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bed and breakfast
society. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, we ought to, I mean, that's a cheap place to get to do an investigation. Mm-hmm. And we got beds that we can sleep in. So, yeah.
That'd be another place to do a great virtual investigation.
Yeah, and the thing is the guy who does the historical tour, oh my God, that guy, he was an encyclopedia of Smithville information.
And that's the place where your glasses ended up under the bed.
Yep.
Yeah.
We didn't have a whole lot of activity, before that. Of course, we were using her laptop as EVP recorder, and that thing is very sensitive.
Right.
It's better than a recorder.
Yeah, you could hear the cars,
everything
down the road. And
other than you're going to do EVPs, that's what I would use is your laptop. That microphone on it picks up everything.
Oh yeah, big time.
It's a lot more sensitive.
But
you'd have to carry a laptop.
Yeah,
it's only different.
KD, I met him down there at Lexington at the big roundup.
Yeah.
I know that was in 2019, wasn't it?
Yep. You couldn't make it.
Well, we could have if we would have just came home, dropped everything off, and left.
I know.
We had just coming back from Vegas, and again, that was one of those things: family first. And I don't give it lip service. It is actually family comes first. And
that's right. It always does.
I want to do this stuff, but if I can't, you know what? I'm going to be just as happy hanging with, Piper and Nolan and Lindsay and Devin as I'm going to be doing that other stuff.
Right.
And it's one more thing for Piper to remember Grandma and Grandpa for. She's excited to being closer to us. You know what? I'm excited because there's a better chance of me going to the beach a couple times, 3 or 4 times a year than me going to Vegas, because I can't go to Vegas because it's so damn expensive. It's $2,000 every time we go, at least.
Yeah.
So in this case, we go down there.
And there's more to do down there than Vegas.
We could camp.
After you get moved down there and they're moved down there, you think the other ones right there are going to end up moving down there?
I bet that they would.
I'm sure they would.
Because I've got Leah has said, she goes,
this one here hasn't talked about moving probably in the last year and a half until yesterday.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mostly because of the fact
that
I know
she knows for sure that they're moving now.
So,
but she hadn't said nothing about it. So I well, you know what? I'm going to start painting this damn house anyway. So it looks like crap, and I'm tired of looking at it. Of course, I'm paying for it. I was paying for it yesterday because I'd started on the ceilings. Just staring straight up for a few hours. Yeah, my neck was like, yesterday.
and guess who usually paints the ceilings?
I suck at it. I suck at painting because I always start off pretty good, but then I start, I haven't got very far. And I start slopping it on there, and then it's.
You gotta take your time and.
I had paint dripping down my hands. It was dripping on the floor, and I was stepping in. I didn't know I was stepping in. I walked all through the kitchen. The kitchen looked like crap. And it had paint everywhere. It looked like the Three Stooges did it. It did. Luckily, I cleaned it all up before she got home, so she didn't even know.
Actually, you didn't clean it all up because there's this.
One little spot I forgot.
It's on the woodwork.
Oh.
So
it'll come off.
It's water based. I mean, I knew who I was buying paint for when I bought it.
Well, you go water based anyway.
So
yeah. Well, I'm getting my outdoor kitchen barbecue area all built out here in front of the house and stuff next to the road, so everybody sees it. And before long, once I get it all done, I'll have the canopy cover over the top of it with cameras in there mounted to show you when I'm grilling and barbecuing. I've already had a lot of people contact me about smoking briskets and pulled pork and things like that.
Now the restaurant's no longer there. I mean,
right. They all know me from down there. Are you still doing it? Yeah.
So is she just done? Sounds
pretty much from what I know.
Yeah. That's what it sounds like.
I'm so sorry she put money into something that she couldn't do.
Yeah. Well, we couldn't do it. It was the guy we was renting the building from. That was the issue, or we'd still be there.
Right.
But no, as soon as this other building, they get the stuff out and I get up there and do a little bit of remodeling in it, me and Jeanette will have a business up in here.
Well, you need some more businesses up there. I mean, there's not a lot of places to eat, right?
Well, yeah, because everybody's tired of the tavern down here. The food down there is crappy.
Right.
The corner cafe up there, I hear so much bad stuff about it. And the old lady in there is wanting to get rid of it. And then the Mexican restaurant is going to get ready to close down here in a month or so and move to Blue Springs.
Oh, really?
They want more people.
Enough in Blue Springs.
Yeah, there's a shitload there.
Yeah, but you got more people per square mile in that area than what you got up here. He ain't making, in his mind, he ain't making enough crap up here. So.
Yeah, there is a BB's,
BB's,
BB's barbecue, and that building's questionable. So, and it's in a bad neighborhood. 80.
Yeah, this one when we open it up, it'll have a whole different name to it and everything me and Jeanette was talking about. So it's just going to be a small place, more carry out. There'll be seating in there, but not for a massive amount of people. More carry out and delivery.
Yep. And yeah, I saw it on there too, but I ate there at that BB's barbecue long time ago before it was, it was only famous for barbecue, and they sometimes have jazz there. So
yeah. And yeah, Chad, it has a brand new furnace and brand new AC in that building, only 2 years old. So yeah.
And rarely used.
Yeah. Because all the building was used for was storage.
How are the pipes?
Real good. Because they've had no water hooked up to them. They were all drained.
Well, that's good.
That's good.
Yeah. I know that for a fact. But if they don't hurry up and get it in there, Tony's going to tell them, get it out or we're going to clean it out. And if we're going to clean it out, I already told him, I got first dibs on going up there. There's a 65 Mustang in there.
In the building?
Yes. What it is, it's a brick building like 24 foot wide for about 24 foot. Connected to it is a 36 by 40 metal building.
Do they know it's in there?
Yeah. It's where the gentleman that got killed in the truck wreck up here, semi wreck down Kansas City.
Yeah.
It's his stuff in there.
Oh.
His wife and all them supposed to be getting it out. There's a bobcat in there that needs work done on it.
Fixed up or just needs to be restored?
It ain't going to take near as much to fix up.
Pretty good shape.
As the other big restaurant up there. You know, the front brick part, we're going to clean the brick up on it and seal it and put a metal ceiling, old galvanized barn metal ceiling in it to make it more look rustic.
Tell them I'll buy it. I'll buy it for more than what it costs brand new.
Mm-hmm.
$1,700.
Yeah.
It's true.
We was thinking about a food truck, but they're expensive.
Bad idea.
They are. They're really expensive.
We found a brand new one trailer that was 14 foot long for $19,000.
So I have a question.
Then you have to have places
something to pull it with.
So here's my question.
What?
We're talking about a 65 Mustang.
Yeah.
What is you guys' dream car?
I've already had my dream car.
Well, what is it?
Already had it?
Yep. 67 Camaro. 79. I had it when I was in the military.
How about you, Rex?
Oh my gosh. My dream car. An Aston Martin.
Ooh.
What year?
What year?
Probably to early to mid 60s.
Yeah.
A James Bond one.
Right.
That I couldn't get into.
Yeah. I want a 65 Impala SS ragtop 2-door.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way you could get the ragtoppers with the 2-door.
Right.
Painted lilac. And it was actually a real color that you could get back then. It's a metal flake lilac.
Oh,
yeah.
They had like 25 colors.
I wish I would have kept one of the cars I restored,
which was a 65 Impala.
Mm-hmm.
55, couple 56 Chevys, a 57.
I am
66 El Camino.
It was funny when I was born. My dad bought a 65 Mustang. So when my sister was born, 4.5 years, almost 5 years later, he went to go buy a new car and he went and bought a Cougar. Well, on the way home, I'm in the back seat. Of course, there was no seatbelt laws or anything. I'm in the back seat. My dad stops to do something and he comes back and I'm standing there in the back seat and I'm peeing all over the floor. He goes, "What in God's name are you doing?" He goes, looked right at him and said, "I hate this car. I want the other one back."
Well, that's like Dad. He went out and bought. We had all those kids there. Well, at that time we had 4 of us.
I'm moving to Florida.
He had a 68 Buick LeSabre, brand new. My older sister, who had her driver's license, we had it 2 months and she blew the engine up.
Uh-oh.
He took it down there, jumped all over him, said, "Build an engine." So they put a new engine in it, brought it home. We had it for a month and he goes, "I don't like this car. She's going to blow the engine up in it again." And so Dad takes off on a Saturday. Drives to Richmond, Missouri, where he bought it. There was a Buick, Dodge, Chrysler. They had all the brands down there, dealership. Yep. Little bitty place. Me and my brother would be out in the front yard, and anybody that had a hot rod were a quarter mile from the stoplight in Kingston, out there where the detention center's at now. We could stand out in the front yard, and if somebody turned that corner and got on it, we could tell you whose car it was by the sound.
Yep.
Right? We're standing out there in the middle of the afternoon and we hear a car, and I look at my brother and I go, I don't recognize that sound. I don't recognize that sound. What is it? He goes, I don't know. We had cedar trees against the fence, so we had to walk out by the bank to look down the blacktop to see what was coming down. And we really dropped our jaws is when it pulled in our driveway. Dad pulled in a 1969 Superbird. 4-foot spoiler on the back.
Thing is,
First thing I seen, it was blue. Dad was colorblind, like I am, but he was worse. He couldn't see colors, so he couldn't tell you what color it was. And there, he pulls up. Yeah, he pulls up in the driveway, and there, me and my brother run over there and looking at it, and Dad goes, "Well, here's the new car." We're going, yeah, okay. Richard Petty, that's all I could think of,
right?
And stuff. Had a 440 in it with dual force.
Yep.
We had it a week.
What
Dad had to trade it off. Mom could not drive a stick shift.
Right. I've had that before.
Yeah.
Dad goes, I got to trade it off. And I'm going, no.
How much that car is worth now?
Oh, God, yeah. Well, that ain't nothing. We had the gas station in Polo for years. Dad had a Vickers gas station. People would come in and charge stuff. Well, they couldn't pay their bill at the end of the month. Right? He got a little bitty miniature white horse with a saddle one time for a guy that owed him a bill. Brought it home. Charlie horse, what we called him. But the best one, and it was funny, because I didn't know Dad could even ride a bicycle, let alone a motorcycle. He come pulling up in the driveway because Catherine couldn't pay his bill. So Catherine traded his 1969 Indian on his bill. This thing was blue and white. Come pulling in the driveway. And I mean, I'm sitting there. My eyes are about this big, and everything. Yeah. And then Dad turns around and sells it. And I'm like, you need to hang on some of this crap. It'll be worth money.
Yep.
What is the most I don't want to say exotic, but what is the most famous or biggest muscle car or anything that you've ever driven?
69Z.
Muscle car I've ever driven? Street legal or on a drag strip?
Either.
Okay, street legal. 68 Dodge Charger Super B with a 383 in it. We got clocked at 140.
Nice.
So mine would have been that Charger I drove, a rental car.
Mine was a 69Z 28 427 L88.
Yep. What was
It was
yours?
a race car
I have a friend
until it got stolen.
that all I'm going to say is he owns a pharmacy. It's one of the 5 top pharmacies in the United States. Really good friends with him. Well, he told me to come over one day. He wanted me to show me his car collection. I walk in. He's got a Pantera, a Ford GT.
Yep.
He's got the last Lamborghini that come off the production line in 82. He's got a Mustang 308. He's got a Ford Cobra Mustang 500 that was signed by Mr. Shelby on the engine and on the dash.
Yep.
And he let me drive. First I drove the Pantera.
How'd you
which
get in
was
it?
cool.
Yeah, that's what I was getting there ready to ask.
It was
like you driving a Barbie car.
Lamborghini.
Was it
The
like
Lamborghini was worth for me to get in.
Was it like watching Tetris, trying to get you in the seat?
Yes.
Like Rex driving a Barbie car.
Then I got to drive the Lamborghini, But man, when I got into that Ford GT, I'm going, yeah, I want one of these. Yeah. He told me I could take the 500 GT Cobra out, and I'm going, no way. I said, I know what that thing can do. I don't want any part of it. I said, especially since you knew Mr. Shelby, he signed the car and he signed the engine. I said, no, I'm not going to do that.
Oh, I would.
Oh
yeah.
I'd have gotten in trouble.
I drove it like I stole it, which I
did this
would
Ford GT. I got in that GT, and I mean, I was having fun with the Pantera and the Lamborghini, but I got in that Ford GT, 24-hour Le Mans winner, and I got in that thing, and I come back a half an hour later, and he goes, "Where you been?" I said, "You don't want to know. But here's the car back. It's fine." I got chased.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah.
So I got a question for you.
Yeah.
What's the largest pickup you've ever driven?
A Ford F-150.
That was what I drove in the Air Force.
Okay.
That was up our equipment. It was, you had to climb in it.
Well, at one time I owned a 79 Chevy 3/4 ton 4-wheel drive with 44s on it and 8-inch body lift and suspension lift. But that's still not the biggest truck I've ever drove. I have drove the largest production pickup there is in the world. The International. The newer one. Have you seen it? I test drove one over in Kansas.
Really?
Yeah. The thing, you've got a ladder that you got to climb up into it.
Yeah.
Right. That thing is unbelievable. It had power.
Oh, I bet.
But I mean, yeah, for a big truck like that, it rode real good. I got to drive it for like 5 miles. I was test driving it. Came back. He told me the price, and I went, forget it. It was like $135,000.
Oh, man. Well, that's like the guy that has the car collection. I just talked to him here 2 weeks ago. He's got a Bugatti coming.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But some of the fun cars I've had, of course, is building my stock cars in the stock class and Charger class. But then I got to climb in and do a few laps in an A mod. That is a trip. Open wheel modified. Man, talk about slinging your body around. I was like, oh, I want one bad. But we had a lot of fun. I raced stock cars for 18, 19 years up here.
My dad and his best friend, which was his cousin, I'll never forget this story. They were driving stock cars. And Mom said, absolutely not. You are not doing that. Well, one Saturday night, they were out racing, and my dad seen this pink pantsuit coming down the stairs towards the track. He knew exactly who that was. He stopped the car, got out, and sat on his ass over by the fence waiting for Mom to show up because she was not happy.
No, some of the best times we had, me and Junior Seeger, we both lived at Kingston out in the country at the time when one of the very first race cars I built and stuff. I'd go over to his shop and take the car over. He'd do some welding and different things for me and everything. We'd go Jamesport up here. They had a little bitty, we want to call it a 1/4 mile fish bowl. It was a demolition derby that went around circles. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's one of those tracks where you had to have a 6-pack or a 12-pack to even get out on the track.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And usually we had a good 6-pack in us before we'd go racing.
Oh, yeah.
We'd load the truck and trailers up and everything and take off, go through Gallatin, get down to Hamilton, A mile outside of town, we stop and unload both race cars.
Oh shit.
We had already told a bunch of people in Hamilton what we was going to do.
Oh man.
We're drunk. I mean, we're feeling no pain. We climb in these race cars, get the ramps up on the trailers, and tell the girls, meet us south of Hamilton, about a mile and a half. Be pulled over on the shoulder. So they took off and went through. We're sitting there on the shoulder in these race cars. This is about midnight, 12:30 in the morning. They called, said we're south of Hamilton. Said, okay, here we come. We fired them up. 13 is a 2-lane blacktop, right? We had both lanes, one on each lane. We went flying through Hamilton at 85 miles an hour, banging into each other. The city cop was sitting at the 4-way, and all he did was hit his lights, shut him off, and shook his head.
That's about all I could do.
So we go to, everybody's parked at every intersection, waving and clapping as we're down through there, right? We get outside of town, load them up, and go home. Junior comes by the next morning, picks me up. We go to Hamilton for coffee at the coffee shop. We walk in. We were the talk of the town. We're banging through, and the cop came in and said, boys, don't ever do that again. That's all he said. But, we had a blast. We had a blast. Well, all we had to do was that week go out and fix each other's body panels on each side where we was banging. But that was it.
You're cranky.
And then one night, of course, I drove over the road during this time. Usually I was home on a Friday, be home Friday and Saturday and leave out Sunday so I could race the stock car. Well, I got a load down in Dallas, Texas, delivered on Friday. They couldn't load me until Saturday morning. I went, shit. So they got me loaded. I got out of there at 9 a.m.
Yep.
At 4 p.m., I was sitting at Winston truck stop up here. 7 hours from Dallas, Texas to
Pretty
Winston.
good time.
I was hammered down.
Oh, yeah.
So I parked the truck. Dad had brought the pickup and the race car. I jumped in it, went over there. That night, they're doing a contest. My wife and stepkids are over there and everything. They're doing a contest. Said, well, who drove the farthest to the races tonight? People were saying Omaha, Kirksville, around the area. One of my stepkids gets up and yells, Dallas, Texas.
Yeah.
The announcer looked. You came from Dallas? No, Dad did. He's out there racing. So after the heat race was over, the announcer came and got down and said, did you come from Dallas? And I said, yeah. 9 a.m. this morning, I was sitting in Dallas, Texas.
Yeah.
That's where
He goes, damn, you need to put your truck out here on the track. And I went, no, I don't. No, I don't. But yeah, that was a lot of fun that night. Got done racing, loaded the car up. Dad took the trailer to my house, parked it and everything, dropped me off at my truck because I had to deliver in Omaha the next morning. But I never missed any races. I was always nearby.
Did you ever drive a motorcycle with a suicide clutch? Those are fun, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
It's something different. What's the fastest you've ever gone on a motorcycle?
Probably 125, 130.
I was with a bunch of guys one night, and they all had, crotch rockets, and they were all saying about how they could drive and everything. This one guy just was horrible, saying that he could go out and ride GP and do it right now. Yeah, whatever. Okay. And two of the guys that I knew were like, they go, well, there's somebody here that can outrace you. They're going, no, there isn't. Well, these two guys knew that I've been riding since I was 7. So one of the guys let me take his It was a Ninja 1000, and it was one of the first years it come out. It was back in the 80s.
Right.
And I said, well, this is the road we're going to take. And I ride it still to this day because it's this. And it's 45 miles an hour, the whole road.
Yep.
And so we get up there and we take off. And this guy's just laughing. So I let him get ahead, and he's bringing it into a curve. He's not even knowing what he's doing. So finally I got tired of it. I went flying by him on the inside on a curve. I'm dragging my knee on the ground, coming around him. I got to my destination. It was 13 minutes later before he ever showed up.
Oh, shit.
He never rode with us again. It wasn't even my bike.
Yeah.
I actually hit at one point on a straightaway. I hit about 140, 148 a couple times.
Well, I could have done a lot more
do it
speed.
now.
Yeah, I could have done a lot more speed on that one bike. It was a KZ 900 and everything that had been modified and had some different carbs on it and stuff. Problem was they had that straight ass seat on it.
Yep.
I'm sitting there, and at about 120, my ass is sliding off that seat, and I'm going, damn, ugh, I got to back down or I'm going to fall off this bike, fly off the ass end of it. And that bike, the guy that owned it took it to the drag strip 2 weeks after that, and when he took off, he slid off the back, and the bike shot straight up in the air about 20 feet and came down nose first. Just totaled that bike. Yeah. That bike had some power.
I was, I've got the new bike now, the Can-Am, and it's got 3 different driving modes on it, which is econo mode, there's sport mode, and then there's rally, which takes off the anti-lock brakes and the traction control. Well, I go see some friends in Dubuque, and I take the back way in because it's this. I mean, it's an amazing ride. And a lot of times the corners are like 35 miles an hour. Yeah. Right. So I ended up putting it in rally mode because I was drifting around the corners. And with the suspension on that thing, I mean, you can turn that thing on a dime. Yeah. So I'm going, and this Beamer comes up behind me, a brand new Beamer. And so he keeps catching up to me. So finally, I just went, okay. And I took off. And I mean, I'm doing 70, 72 miles an hour into a 35 mile an hour corner. And he's trying to keep up. Finally, he catches up to me at a stoplight. He goes, "What in God's name are you driving?" He goes, "I tried my damnedest to catch up to you." He goes, "You made me look like a joke." And I said, "Well, I gave you a chance a couple times, and I just got tired of waiting for you."
Yeah, those Can-Ams, they're nice 3-wheel bikes.
Yeah, and that's what when I got it and found out all the different things that you can do on it. Well, heck, I drove it to Kentucky and back last year because I went to Waverly Hills. I drove it out there.
One of the biggest things
I don't see those very much. Those Can-Ams. I don't see those very much.
I see them all the time up
here. Do you really?
Yep.
Most people got the Can-Am Spiders. Mine is a Riker, which is basically the sport version of a Can-Am. And, I bought it, and I put over 4,000 miles on it just last summer.
They say once you ride them, you'll fall in love with them.
Oh, I did.
They're comfortable to ride. And if you look at it, all of us know, if you have to change a tire on a motorcycle, it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Not on these.
On these, they got car tires.
Yep, they got one nut, just like a Formula One race car. It's got
NASCAR now.
Hopefully your nuts don't fall off.
And it's got
hopefully you come on better than a NASCAR cruise.
And you can adjust the actual one shock underneath the seat on the fly.
Yeah.
Now yours got 13, 14, or 15-inch tires on them.
It's got 14-inch on the back. It's just a regular car tire. And on the front, they're, what are those? I think 16s.
How long have you had it? When did you get it? A couple years ago?
April of last year.
Oh, last year.
Right before you got on my show last year.
Oh, well, let's look.
I knew you went on a trip, but
Look up a 2019 Riker 900 Rally Edition. Is what I've got.
2019 Riker Pan-Am.
What do those go for?
I got a really good deal. I got mine. Mine was the first year they were made, 2019.
Mm-hmm.
I bought it with 382 miles on it. And it didn't look like this bike had even been ridden. Well, I was looking for bikes that day because I wasn't going to give up riding. I knew I couldn't ride a two-wheel anymore.
Right.
Did all my research, and I'm going, I'm getting a Can-Am. So not too far from me, there's Harley Davidson Can-Am. So I get on that site, and they had that bike just put on there. Like 10 minutes. It'd been on the website. I got a hold of them and got all the paperwork done. When I got it, it was just a little over 10 for the bike. And but it had over $2,000 worth of extras on it too that I didn't have to buy. So when I bought it, and Joy comes home from work and she says, "Why you got your riding gear on?" I said, "Get back in the car. We got to go to Cedar Rapids. They close at 5:00. I want to pick up the new motorcycle." She had no idea. So
We'll see if this one looks like yours.
Mine's red and black.
Oh, wait a second. That ain't what I want.
You got it. You got it for just over 10.
Yeah, and it had 382 miles on it. And
That's pretty good.
I asked him. I said, "Why? Why would anybody put 382 miles on it and sell it?" And he goes, "I'll tell you the story here." Yeah.
Is that it?
Yep. That's what I ride.
That is bad.
Dresser.
Yeah, ran into it, not the knobs.
I love that thing. Mine's red and black. But yeah, I have a windshield on it.
That thing's got it. That's got to be a lot more comfortable than a motorcycle.
Oh yeah, and I don't have to
I mean,
shift.
I could actually ride that. I enjoy riding that motorcycle.
I don't have to
That's
shift
not fun
anything.
after a while.
You've got one pedal, and that's for the brakes.
Yep.
And it's got independent front suspension, anti-lock brakes all the way around, traction control, which of course you can take all that off.
That is red and black. That is yours, Rex. It's for sale.
Not on my watch. It's not.
Call Joy at. Oh wow.
Yeah. I've
That
got
one has 10,000 miles on it. And they're wanting 11,000 for it.
Yep.
Still not bad.
Yeah, there's your one wheel. Oh, I
Yep,
like it.
one
Yeah.
nut.
Yeah.
The front tires are more expensive than the back tire.
It's probably the more important one.
That is wicked, though.
I love it. I just, they told me when I bought it that it would be the funnest thing I've ever ridden. I've ridden a lot of motorcycles, and by far, they weren't kidding.
Yeah.
This is the day.
11,900.
Yeah, I was gonna say I rarely see those. Rare.
There's mine.
That one?
Yep. That's the day I brought it home.
Don't want to get us in trouble for playing music. It's Coco Melon. We could get in trouble.
Yeah,
Well,
I
we
even
have
got.
about 5 minutes left, don't we?
Yep.
Yeah, we do.
I got personalized plates for it.
Sexy
Yeah.
Rexy.
No, it says innuendo.
Oh,
which is the
Now,
last
Ron,
album.
what you would probably like is what they call the T-Rex. The T-Rex has 2 bucket seats in it and an enclosure around it with the 2 front tires and 1 in the back.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
you're
they're
also
fun.
looking at 1,800 cc's.
Yep.
Massive power.
That thing will get up and flat ass.
It's got a steering wheel in it.
It's
Yep.
a Can-Am.
Yeah, it's a
It's-
Can-Am. It's just called the T-Rex. They're
Have to look
bad.
at that.
Might
I'm
be-
gonna check that
That
out.
might be something fun to have when we move to the beach.
Hell yeah.
It's
I'm gonna
my
give me
bike.
a wheeler.
Yeah,
I'm
they're
so
all
glad I
over.
bought it.
Yeah,
As
give me a
Chad
wheeler
and
to
Barbara
drive to the
says,
beach.
they're all over Florida down there.
Oh yeah.
I need a wheeler to get to the beach, to get to my boat so I can go out and fish.
There you go.
Catch my crab and
Get
fish.
get my crabs so I can
So I
make
can
crabs.
catch dinner for the night.
They even make a Can-Am that's a 250. Gets 100 miles to the gallon.
See, perfect for a road trip down to Vegas. Or
The
out
top
to,
speed on it's like 70 or 75 miles an hour. But
I
they're
hit
nice
one-
bikes.
I hit 110 and I decided to back off. I just
that's
want to see if I
fine.
could go over 100 miles an hour on it.
Oh, yeah. A 900 cc, you better.
I got there's 600 pounds of torque to the rear wheel.
Yeah.
And I can make it burp every time.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if I've got it in rally mode or if I've got it in eco mode. It'll break that back tire loose. And it's quick because you don't shift anything.
And you like those with the 2 wheels in front better than you would like a trike that's got the 2 wheels in back.
A trike with the 2 wheels in back does not have suspension. And if you hit a curb, you're falling over. My
Or if
bike,
you turn too sharp, it
Yeah,
goes over.
That thing looks a lot safer to drive than
I did a lot
a
of research
motorcycle
on
or a
it,
trike.
and I couldn't go wrong with it. There's the only way I'd fall off is if I fell asleep or if somebody hit me. There's no way you could tip that damn thing over.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I know. I never
Yeah.
want a trike. I don't like them.
That's probably why we don't
I-
see that many of them here, because it's usually
Oh,
150.
I
or
see them
minus.
all over the interstate up here.
No.
Because, you can get the Spider, which is the big brother to what I'm driving, and they're beautiful bikes. Same thing, don't have to shift or anything, and it has reverse in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's built basically for 2 people. I mean, I could get a second seat for mine, but I'm not paying $400. And I'm sorry, Joy is an inexperienced rider. We'd go 5 miles and she'd go, "Oh, my butt hurts. Let's pull over." I don't stop until I run out of. I
Oh,
have
this
gas.
one's nice here. Let me add that one to StreamYard before we get off here and stuff. We got a couple minutes. Come on. Here. This is a 2014 Spider RT. That is wicked.
They're nice bikes if you got 20 grand lying around.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I bet you those are about 20.
This one here is, let me look, 17,900.
Wow, that's not bad.
How many
No.
miles is on it?
13,000.
Oh, for only a 2014? That's
Yeah.
nice.
And it's got a 1,300 cc motor in it.
It's got all the bells and whistles on it too.
This one you can finance and buy it.
For only 18% interest.
I think you can finance it.
Let's see.
Yeah, I bet you can finance them all, just like campers. You can finance it.
Yeah,
They want that. They want that interest. That's how they make their money.
right.
Oh, and the add-on.
But that one there
Hey,
is beautiful.
Hey,
yep, we're at 6:59.
Okay. Well, folks, I guess it's time we better get right into the show. So we'll start with Rex down there. Tell everybody where they can find you and your show.
You can find me every Saturday night on the Bill of Rights Network at 7 p.m. Central Time. It's called Music, Movies, and Maybe More. And my co-host is my youngest son, Chaim.
And Denise,
You can find me and the Paranormal Pride every Monday night at 7 p.m. Central, right here on the Bill of Rights Network, the Paranormal Pride Facebook page and YouTube page. And please go out to YouTube and like and subscribe to all the shows. That way you get notifications on when we're going live. And I think you'll find a couple things that you might enjoy, I think.
That's right.
Absolutely.
So like and subscribe.
And check out Things Network on Facebook for paranormal shows and other shows over on theirs, where we're live at right now. And also check out Temple of Phoenix Rising Entertainment Facebook page. They have a lot of great shows over there. Our shows over here at the Bill of Rights Network. Here's a lineup of all the shows and everything that you can see. But go to the Bill of Rights Network. It's a pin post at the top that lists all these shows. And
we got one.
We're going to have 2 new shows coming up by the middle of next month. So stay tuned to that and everything. So I want to tell everybody thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week here on Paranormal Nation Radio, Not So Normal. Have a good evening.
Good night, everyone.